All right, what's up, guys? It's today is special. Today is freaking special. This is basically a music reaction channel, right? I do a lot of music reactions. Music is just a really big inspiration to me personally, right? What some of you might not know about me, unless you are a subscriber from the original CRMP that has over 10,000 subs over there, I appreciate you guys. CRMP crew, I love you so much. I am a die-hard Marvel fan, like die-hard. More MCU. I'm really a fan of the cinema part of Marvel. I do enjoy the comics. I don't really read them much, but the ones that I have read, they're cool. You know what I mean? What I'd like to tell you about me is that I do have a 4-year degree in digital cinematography. I did go to Full Sail University. I was an online student for a long time, and yeah, I do love music, but I also truly, genuinely love cinema. That was when I started this YouTube channel. That was what was a part of the plan. It was supposed to be music reactions, movie reviews, not really film critiques, but more just like the things that I love about, you know, the movies I love, and even more than that, just any kind of movie or film, stuff that you guys love, stuff that you guys, you know, want to see people, you know, review and stuff like that. I guess I'm just really big into like entertainment in general, you know what I mean? It's an escape for humanity, and I'm here for it, and I love pushing that. So yes, huge fan of film, huge fan of cinema, huge fan of Marvel. I do want to just get into this real quick. So we have the official trailer for Avengers Doomsday. This just dropped 4 hours ago, and it has 11 million views. Literally 10 minutes ago when I looked at this, it said 10 million. It just went up at least a couple 100,000, maybe all the way up to 1 million views in 1 hour. So this has, again, 11 million views in 4 hours. We are here for it. I am so deathly excited. I will get into my critiques on the fans, because that's where my critiques lie. My critiques don't lie with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. My critiques lie with the fans and a lot of the like YouTube critics, you know what I mean, on here, because those guys really just, I don't know, but I have a lot to say. I maybe have even one or two to call out, but we are firstly just going to get in this trailer because that is the most important thing. I am so excited. We're coming to the end of the multiverse saga. Honestly, hot take, it's been my favorite saga. So we are going to hop right into this. Let's see what's up. I am so fucking excited. I'm like literally tweaking out. I don't know what I'm gonna get, what we're gonna get. I've heard a few things. I've watched a few new Rockstar's videos. I've you know, jumped down the rabbit holes, and I've tried to peep game, and it's just, you know, there's a lot going on. And bro, let's fucking go. I'm super excited. I've done enough talking. Avengers Doomsday official trailer in theaters December 18th. Marvel Entertainment, 11 million views 4 hours ago. Let's do it.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter.
So that was planet exploding. We are dealing with incursions. We're in the multiverse. We're doing a lot of stuff with that. So that was Professor X watching another world explode. So that means this is going to be probably maybe at the end of a fight where they're battling for both worlds. And I don't know if it's going to be X-Men versus Avengers, or if it's going to be just, I don't know what it's going to be, but wow.
Coming.
What do you say?
Something's coming.
And that's RDJ. That's Dr. Doom, bro. That's Dr. Doom talking, bro. Oh my god, bro. Let's go. Let's go.
Something's coming. Something we may not be able to deter.
He's got an accent.
Before this day is done, we shall be faced with
There he
an
is.
unthinkable decision.
There he is. All right. So we got a little glimpse of him, and he's saying that we might be faced with an unthinkable decision. Unthinkable, right? Is what he said.
Before this day is done, we shall be be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Yeah, Avengers Tower. It looks revamped.
I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together. Put aside your petty squabbles. And presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters. But mark my words. We're going to need a miracle.
Hey, pal.
It's not possible.
Let's go! Let's fucking go! Let's go! Alright, that was the trailer for Avengers Doomsday. Holy shit, that looked so good. I have so many thoughts on it. So I had to stop recording yesterday. I did react to the trailer like 4 hours after it came out. I just had some personal life stuff happen, so I had to back out of Streamlabs and all that good stuff and focus on that. I'm obviously back today to finish my reaction review for Avengers Doomsday. Dude, okay. So, I'm just gonna kind of jump right into it. I'm gonna be all over the place with some things, right? I'm still in the same outfit. I put on the same outfit so the aesthetic could kind of stay the same, you know what I mean? I just lit up the candles. That's the only difference, you know what I mean? So, I am kind of gonna be a little all over the board here with this because I really want to talk about it because I'm really excited about this movie. I love Marvel and the MCU. And I also love YouTube, and I also love watching other reactors, and I love watching film reviews and music reactions and all that good stuff. But the film, the YouTube, right? I don't want to give too much credit. The YouTube Film Critic Society, right? And I use the words film critics because they do more than just the reaction reviews of films. I feel like they pick and choose certain movies to critique. Critique being the big word, right? So I'm gonna get into that too, but I do kind of want to just go over the trailer because I just rewatched it again to keep it all, you know, like right here up here. Yeah, the trailer basically starts off in the X-Mansion, and we are obviously sitting with Charles Xavier as an incursion starts to happen, and yeah, the X-Mansion is completely destroyed in ruins. It's been demolished. I don't know what led up to this, what happened. All I know is there is an incursion happening right outside the window, and Professor X watches it as it happens. We get a really cool shot of the new Avengers Tower in New York City. Looks really cool, looks really nice, renovated. We did see that at the end of Thunderbolts. We were shown the inside of it for the most part, and yeah, I thought it looked really, really good. Yeah, it was just a cool shot of that. And from there, we kind of just go around to, you know, a lot of our heroes that are going to be in the movies. So we obviously have Thor, we have the Wakandans, we have Shuri, We have Bucky, Ant-Man, we have the entire Thunderbolts team, we have the Fantastic Four, we get some, and we have Captain America, Sam Wilson, and then obviously we have Steve Rogers at the end. I'm 100% sure that's not all of the heroes that are going to be in the movie, and even if it was, it would be fine. You know what I mean? Like, that would be fine. Just to see Steve and Thor go crazy. You know what I mean? That would be cool. But I know that's not going to be. We're still missing Doctor Strange. We're still missing Peter Parker. We're missing a few. So, and probably much more that'll be on screen. I think that was really cool to show as much as they did. We also had Gambit. We had Shang-Chi. We got to see a few cool fight scenes. We got to see Mystique, transform mid-battle with Yelena. So that was really cool too. We got a lot of really cool stuff. The Gambit versus Shang-Chi thing was really cool. I just started rewatching Shang-Chi last night. Yeah, and then basically, after all that, we see a hint of Doom's power that's going to be in this film. In the comics, Doctor Doom is literally probably the baddest villain in Marvel Comics. We just know for a fact that he is going to be just like, his power is going to be just like peak. He's going to be really strong. And Thor comes down with Stormbreaker, goes for Doom. Doom literally blocks it with 2 fingers. Now, if you look at Doom's fit and all this stuff, within his emblems and symbolism and all that stuff that he has on him, he has a lot of rune work going on, right? And that means he's probably developed some type of magic wielding something, you know what I mean? So he's wielding some magic. That would probably be the only thing that could stop something like Stormbreaker. Stormbreaker literally got through the entire Infinity Gauntlet while it was 100% powered up with all the Infinity Stones. So for Doom to stop Stormbreaker with literally 2 fingers, you got some magic going on or something. You got that's the only thing, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, Thor fans, because I'm a huge Thor fan, but who I'm even a bigger fan of, my favorite Marvel character of all time, Wanda Maximoff, bro. Like, I'm telling you right now, that kind of magic is the only thing I feel like that could stop something like Stormbreaker. It's chaos magic. It's dark magic. It can literally overpower the entire multiverse if it's held by the right person. So I'm not saying that Doctor Doom's power is coming from the Scarlet Witch or what I mean. None of that. I'm just saying that it's probably a little similar. The magic that he's wielding is probably a little similar. I think that's gonna be really that's dude. Just watching the fights with Doom is gonna be so cinema, bro. Like, that shit is gonna be so good. I'm really excited to see how they bring all that together and to see how it plays out, because you know what I mean. I just think it's gonna be really good. The Russo brothers are so insane. You know what I mean? They're amazing. They're top tier. Mint, if you will. And then yeah, so the end of the trailer shows the reignition between Thor and Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers has returned. He's back. There is a few hot takes going around about that, about Steve, whether he is the actual Steve Rogers that Loki pulls from this timeline and brings him back, or if this is the Steve that has something to do with Hydra. Because in the comics, there is a comic where Steve is basically the Hydra Captain America. That's a possibility. I don't think they would run with that, but it is a possibility nonetheless. But I definitely think this is just regular Steve. You know what I mean? And I just want to say, and this is our Steve Rogers. I want to put emphasis on that. This is our Steve Rogers. I know that our Steve Rogers also at the end of Endgame came back as an old man and handed the shield off to Sam Wilson. That is true. That was our Steve Rogers. But this technically within the multiverse and all of its beings, this is still our Steve Rogers, 100%. The same Steve Rogers that's going to be standing with Thor was the same Steve Rogers that stood on that little time travel thing and got sent back to return all the stones, and that stayed with Peggy Carter. So yes, so that definitely is our Steve Rogers. He is just basically now in his present returning to the past, which I don't know if that even messes up the timelines even more, but it doesn't really matter at this point, because we have an incursion happening between three universes, which is the three main universes in all of Marvel film. So you have the Fox universe, you have ours, the 616, and then you have the 10005, which is Fantastic Four. So you have these three universes colliding. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's. I'm hearing things like we're gonna lose Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe, which is really sad, bro. Which is the same universe of the Fox X-Men. So you know, it's gonna be nostalgic. It's probably gonna be heartbreaking. It's gonna be crazy. I'm here for it. I'm super excited. But yeah, you know, that was a really good trailer. For a trailer, I'd give it a solid 10 out of 10. It showed us everything that we needed to see. We didn't need to see any more. You know what I mean? Like, I'm perfectly content and happy with that trailer. Not too much, not too little. We got to see Doom. We didn't get to see much of him, but we did get to see a cool amount of him. And we got to see his power displayed on camera. So that's really cool. Now, as far as the trailer, good. I want to talk to some of the film critics on YouTube. Because some of you guys, dude, y'all are a problem, bro. And it's funny because, like, I was also watching a clip on YouTube of a news outlet. It was a real news outlet doing some type of take for the news about Avengers Doomsday and the trailer and how everybody's excited for it or whatever. They brought in somebody to speak on the trailer's behalf. And I really just real quick want to play that for you guys. Because I just want you guys to see the just natural hate something as big as Marvel and something like that gets from people that claim to be like super big film critics, like this is their profession, this is what they do, yada yada. And I am about to literally expose that, right? But I'm gonna let this play first so you guys can just see what I'm talking about and get an idea. You know what I mean? So let's do that. And this is gonna be on Fox 35 in Florida.
About a big topic that is dear to a lot of people's hearts, at least here at Fox 35, that's for sure. All of our film fanatics are extremely excited about Marvel dropping the Avengers Doomsday official trailer today. A very exciting time for all of those people who are interested in that. And joining us now, we actually have a film critic who's joining us, Jesse Hassinger. Jesse, thank you so much for being here with us on Florida Live on this Monday afternoon.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so we have got to get to a lot.
This guy just said he thinks that he saw desperation from Marvel Studios. I want you guys to look up how much revenue the MCU and Marvel Studios has developed over the last 20 years. They literally took as long as they wanted with this trailer, despite all the fans that are coming in, where's the trailer, yada yada. I was even one of them. I wanted the trailer too. Marvel Studios and the Russo brothers did it how they wanted to and dropped it when they wanted to. They literally dropped it for us to see, and now they're gonna probably drop something even bigger at San Diego Comic-Con, which is awesome. I wouldn't be surprised if he's only watched like 1 or 2 or 3 movies, maybe a show or 2. The main difference between the Infinity Saga and the Multiverse Saga is the Multiverse Saga is more jam-packed. There's more shit to uncover in the Multiverse Saga. Infinity War was very pen to paper. This is what this is. You know what this is leading to. Boom, boom, boom. The Multiverse Saga has thrown us for loops. It's done this, it's done that, just as a multiverse saga should. Like, and all the people saying all this stuff about like they don't understand the Multiverse Saga, it's very simple. It's very simple, and I will go over that as soon as this video is over. I will go over the Multiverse Saga for the ones that claim that they watch these movies and shows and don't understand. And really, there's only one reason that you don't understand. There's just one reason. There's not 2, there's not 3, there's one reason why you don't understand. But we will get to that.
Was there anything that you were, I guess, surprised by when it comes to what was included in this trailer?
I was sort of, not to sound like a total grump, but I was surprised by how little the movie was able to show me that felt new. As much as this feels like it should be a very new thing with Robert Downey Jr. coming back to the series in a completely different role, a whole lot of characters that we haven't seen kind of team up before. They're bringing in the X-Men characters from the earlier Fox movies, which were not part of the official Marvel universe.
Isn't it so funny how he said they're not bringing in anything new and then starts naming new things that they're bringing in and showing? Like when have you seen the X-Men in the MCU, bro? Like genuinely, bro. Like it just blows my mind, dude. It literally blows my mind how you're gonna say something like that and understand that the entire MCU is a story. It's a storyline. What do you want to see? Somebody brand new playing Thor? Would you rather Thor not even be in the movie? You know what I mean? That's what this guy is, right? Let's listen to him. We're gonna keep listening to him.
Universe, and yet it really kind of looks to me like a rehash of Infinity War, right down to Captain America and Thor kind of looking like they do, and they give the same haircuts they had in that movie.
He's saying the entire movie looks like Infinity War and Endgame because of the haircuts. Take that in. Just please take that in. It's so sacrilegious, and it's literally it should be illegal for people like this to be able to share their awful opinions on stuff like this. It should be absolutely illegal, and I would push for that bill. I would. You don't deserve to be on the news, anything, giving your opinion on any big movie. You need to be giving your opinions on B films or soap operas or dramas, because that's what you watch. That's what you fucking watch. And I know that. I'm sorry about my language. I'm a little heated up. This guy is just ridiculous. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I'm not gonna play anymore, but I just kind of wanted to. That right there is what I'm talking about. There's more people on the YouTube platform that I love that have these just terrible opinions, and they take those opinions and they make them sound like they're facts. They make them sound absolutely like they're diehard 100% facts. When that plot leak came out, there were so many YouTube critics that got on YouTube and live stream and all that stuff and just started just shitting on this film. Just shitting on it. Like, oh my god, this sounds so dumb. This doesn't even make sense. This contradicts. Blah, blah, blah. Bro, have you guys seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Just tell me, have you? Probably not. Have you guys seen, you probably did see Shang-Chi. That was a good movie. Everybody talked about it, whatever. Have you guys seen the Marvels? Have you seen Miss Marvel? Have you seen Captain America Brave New World? You know what I mean? Like, there are these, have you seen Agatha? You know what I mean? Like, just this, there's so much in the multiverse saga. Have you seen, like, all the seasons of Loki? Have you seen everything? Have you watched WandaVision completely? You know what I mean? Like, there is so much going on in the multiverse that, like, it hurts. It's hard for people to wrap their head around if they're not literally keeping up with the timeline. You know what I mean? And that is what I love about Marvel. They make sure you're basically only going to be able to understand what's going on completely and get the full experience if you are a real fan of the MCU, right? And there are millions, buddy, millions. So for you to have a platform that you go on and critique stuff on, and you want to get on and start critiquing something that's Marvel based, but you don't even call yourself a real fan because you don't watch all the movies and shows anyway, why are you going to get on here and start bashing the new Avengers movie when you don't even have all the fucking facts and everything else to go along with your critique? You're just getting on here reading what could possibly be a real plot leak, possibly, not even 100% that we know that it's real, and you're going to get on here and take that verbatim, and you're going to give your opinion on it, and it comes out just super shitty and terrible, and then also it's just kind of contradicting because you don't know what you're talking about at the same time. Like, you're giving this terrible review and you're bashing this film already, and like, you don't even know shit. You can't even explain to me what the multiverse saga is. You could not look at me in the eyes and say, what is the multiverse? What is all these timelines? What is the TVA? What are incursions? Like, you could not look at me and give me an entire like spill of what all that is. And you're sitting on here bashing the new Avengers movie that's going to have to do with all that stuff. So basically you're sad or mad because you don't know what's going on. And you have a platform, so you're going to express your sad little feelings on your platform and just give the movie hell. You know, or you're just a diehard DC fan, or you're just a Marvel hater in general. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is, clicks and views that are gotten from rage bait is literally the most shitty thing you could do. The most shitty thing you could do. You know what I mean? Because like literally, you're shitting on somebody's hard work just to get views. You know what I mean? Like, what's that motionless wise? I'll lick the fucking dirt off my boot like a good dog. Like, yes, do that. Lick the dirt off Marvel's boot like a good fucking dog. Because that's what you are, bro. That's what you're doing at the end of the day. You're licking the dirt off their fucking boot. And really, that's insane, brother. Find some shit that you enjoy. Get on your platform and do some things that are positive. You know what I mean? Stop always getting online and trying to just bash shit to get views, like, bro, because like that's like you're just despicable, bro. But that is my opinion. You know, people could disagree with me, and to those people, whatever, we agree to disagree completely. I just think it's just incredible how people do that, but you know, I'm not going to name drop anybody. I'm not going to call anybody out. I kind of wanted to call out one YouTuber in particular. What I will say about this YouTuber is they did a Snow White review, which, you know, the Snow White reviews were kind of, Disney asked for that. Disney asked for that, the casting, just the remake of the movie in general. Like, you guys asked for that, right? So that one, all right, whatever. But that's how I found this specific YouTuber, and he gets a lot of views. He gets a lot of, you know, whatever. Yeah, basically his entire channel is dedicated to shitting on movies, and it's funny because he hasn't released anything about this trailer since it's dropped, with all of the volume and all that shit that's going on with this trailer. You'd think he would, but he didn't. But when that plot leak came out, he had an entire video dedicated to it. He had other streamers joined up on a video to talk about the plot leak, which they were all bashing it. They were all just like fellow shit critics, you know what I mean? Like that was just what they were. You know what I mean? And it's funny, bro, because like what's happening is you're being left in the dark. You had your one little moment of light because you thought it was genuinely going to be light, which like makes you delusional. But now the repercussions is you're gonna be alone in the fucking dark. That sucks, dude. That sucks. The rest of us are gonna enjoy the shit out of this movie, and we're gonna experience it because life has chosen to give this to us while we're alive. You know what I mean? So that's awesome, and I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for it. I'm here for most things that life gives us. So, you know, a lot of people like to think they aren't, but whatever, dude. Whatever. Live in your own little delusional world. But that is my take on YouTube critics and all that stuff, and you know, they're basically Rotten Tomatoes at the end of the day. Rotten Tomatoes is nothing but a shit critic storm. That's all it is, bro. Sometimes they get it right, 3/4 of the time it's wrong. It's fucking wrong, and they just think they're right so bad. You know what I mean? But that is my reaction to the Avengers Doomsday trailer. I am so excited. I'm excited for the second trailer. I'm excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day at the end of the month. I'm just a huge film junkie, and I've been literally following these films for almost 3 decades. You know what I mean? And I'm saying I'm passionate about it. You know what I mean? It makes me happy. It gives me something to enjoy. So, you know, when people come in and shit on it for no specific reason, and they can't give any facts, and they're just all opinionated and all that, it just really just irks me, and I wish those people would find something better to do with their platforms, because yeah, that shit ain't gonna last, buddy. Yeah, for all the ones that are excited, dude, let's go. It's gonna be such a sick movie. But yeah, that's my reaction. That's my small review, you know what I mean? And that's my take on all that shit. Real quick before I go, what I will say about the multiverse saga, and I'm gonna do it in chronological order so nobody gets like confused, right? So we're gonna start in Loki season 1 because that takes place during the Avengers, right? It literally takes place during the Avengers when Loki is being captive. We see it happen in Endgame. Loki gets a hold of the Tesseract when Tony and Steve go to retrieve it from the Avengers Watchtower. And Loki gets a hold of it. When he takes it, the Tesseract just darts him off somewhere. You know what I mean? He just the space stone, whatever, it just takes him somewhere completely different. I don't know. It either happens because he wasn't supposed to touch the Tesseract, or it just like transferred him somewhere else, somewhere different, where he wasn't supposed to be. Either way, he wasn't supposed to do that, and that's where we were introduced to the TVA. The TVA steps in and gets variants as they go to places they shouldn't be. So that is when we were introduced to what timelines are, the multiverse, stuff like that, and we have Loki at the center of all of it, which that's where he gets his character arc, becomes the god of stories, whatever, and he's holding all the timelines together, right? In WandaVision, it was shortly after the blip, and that was kind of just its own little thing. Like I said, it did introduce like the Darkhold and chaos magic and stuff like that. Gave us Agatha. It gave us a peek inside of the powers that the universe and the multiverse actually holds. And then something like the Eternals, for instance, that showed us a bunch of shit. It showed us heroes that we didn't even know that we had walking among our 616 universe. We didn't even know, you know what I mean, that they were there. It introduced us to the Celestials. It introduced us to just powers that were greater than our universe. The Eternals was a pretty big movie, if you think about it. And then you had Spider-Man No Way Home, right? Spider-Man No Way Home. So that is going to be a lot of the bread and butter of how this works, right? Doctor Strange goes to do a spell for Peter Parker that is basically going to make basically almost 4/4 of the world not remember that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Peter starts messing with Strange's spell mid-spell. It ends up becoming some sort of like a beacon for certain people that were, known as villains to Peter Parker in other universes. It starts bringing them in. Then we also get our first look at, two different Spider-Mans from two different universes. We had Tobey and Andrew, which, legends. And then Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, right? It explained a lot. It explained incursions. It explained how certain people have powers to travel through the multiverse specifically. The reason that we saw a lot of the crazy, just off-the-wall stuff in Multiverse of Madness is because America Chavez had a certain power to where she could travel the multiverse, and on screen it wasn't explaining to us how the multiverse works. It was explaining to us how America travels through the multiverse, and basically that was what was shown on screen. And then we got to see different aspects of the multiverse, because of them going to the universe where they saw the Illuminati. Wanda murked all of them, you know what I mean? Like, we got to experience the multiverse in general, and then we were also told specific things that we needed to know about the multiverse. The Reed Richards, John Krasinski, explained to us what incursions was. It's basically when two universes collide because somebody has, meddled with the multiverse and done something they shouldn't have done, which is, it could be dream walking. It could be somebody going from one timeline to another timeline. You're not supposed to do that. You know what I mean? It's very simple stuff that causes these like incursions and just the breaking in the multiverse. It's very simple, and people really try to overcomplicate it, but it's not that complicated. And then, you had stuff, you had Moon Knight come in, right? Moon Knight was sick, bro. We got to learn about the Egyptian gods of the Marvel Universe, that they play a part in all this, you know what I mean? Like, that was really, really sick, too. And then you had Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel was huge because it basically introduced mutants for the first time, you know what I mean? Miss Marvel is basically a mutant. It also showed time travel in that, too, and how certain artifacts or certain items can allow you to jump from one universe to another, or go from past to future to future to past, or whatever. And that was the Bangles. The Bangles in that show allowed her to travel time, you know what I mean? Because that is the power that the Bangles hold, right? And yes, most people that get off their timeline and go do that, yes, the TVA does come for you, but she was not time hopping a lot, and she was going right back, you know what I mean? She was coming there, maybe laying low enough for the TVA not to recognize her, and then she would go back. So it wasn't contradicting at all. Loki took that thing and he was outie scouty 5000, you know what I mean? Like, it's very different. It's very different, but it's all the same at the same time. And then you had Werewolf by Night, which was its own timeline on its own universe. It doesn't really matter. It was just a Halloween special. It was really good, really cool. But it just showed us another story on another timeline. And then obviously all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, bro. They just literally travel the universe, the galaxy, whatever. You know what I mean? They travel it. Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. A lot of people, they didn't like this movie. I loved it. I thought it was really, really good, really cool. I really enjoyed how they introduced Kang. You know, Kang was introduced as the big bad in Loki, but they kind of showed us like his power and all that cool stuff in Quantumania. And then, you know, I liked MODOK and stuff like that. I didn't give a damn about the CGI and none of that shit, man. I'm there to enjoy the movie for what it is. Like, I'm not nitpicking, right? I thought it was a really cool movie. And that basically showed us a lot. It showed us the quantum realm, which is its own universe in general, right? And then it literally, Kang walked us through the multiverse and how the multiversal wars happened with him and with other, you know, variants of himself, and that he's killed Avengers in the past and all this and all that. And then it even explained how he got to the quantum realm and how all that came about. Because, you know, it's not like everybody can just travel the multiverse and just run around the multiverse like they want to. There's only certain ones, you know what I mean? And Kang is going to be one of those people. He's very, very powerful, and he's learned this over years to do all that stuff. So it gave us an even deeper dive into the multiverse in Quantumania. And then, yeah, man, and then the Marvels. The Marvels also, at the end, Monica Rambeau gets sucked through something else that has been powered up with a certain item in the galaxy somewhere that is breaking reality, right? It's literally breaking reality. So she's going to go from one reality to another reality. And when she does that, that basically right there can cause an incursion as well. She's not supposed to be in that universe. She ends up being in the X-Men universe. I think it's 10005. I think, don't quote me, but I think that's where she went. And it showed how that happened and how she got there, and you know what I mean? It leaves us guessing what's going to happen next. And then you had Deadpool and Wolverine, which really dove into it, which it was as plain as day, dude, on how the multiverse works, bro. The TVA is how you legally travel the multiverse, right? If you want to legally travel the multiverse, legally, you know what I mean? The TVA is the way to do it, right? Because they control all that, all the timelines. Kang created the TVA. They control all that, right? And now Loki, because at the end of Loki season 2, now we have Loki, God of Stories, sitting there at the end of the timeline, holding everything together, because all of existence was about to get absolutely just decimated, if you will. And he had a character arc, changed his entire aura and all that about him, and chose the almost impossible task to sit in a throne and hold all of the timeline together so everybody would be safe. You know what I mean? That he got his throne, he became a hero, like it was amazing, right? And now we have a bunch of incursions and stuff happening, and now we got Doctor Doom coming into it. We had the Fantastic Four, all that good stuff, right? It all makes sense. You just have to watch, and you just have to lock in, and you just have to understand. If you don't want to lock in, you don't want to do that, that's your fault, not mine, right? So that is gonna about do it. I'm done rambling. This is gonna be a long video, but I'm passionate about it, and I just wanted to share that with you. So thank you guys for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. I love all of you, CRMP crew. You know, all the love in the world and my soul. I love you guys. I will see you next time. I'm Outie Scouty. Avengers Doomsday, December 18th, 2026. Let's get it. Peace.